Myself, Prasad. My topic is the black box model. What is black box model? It is a model of consumer behavior called the stimuli response or the black box model. Focuses on the consumer as a thinker and problem solver who responds to range of external and internal factor when deciding whether to buy or not buy. Three major components of black box models. Black box models, environmental, marketing stimuli, products and price and place and promotion. Others, economic and technological and social and culture. Bias black box, bias characteristics, bias and decision process, bias responses, buying and attitude and preferences, purchase the behavior, what the buyer and buys, when, where, and how much, brand and company relationship behavior. First one, environment. According to this model, the environment has consist of stimuli given by the farm as well as external stimuli. This marketing stimuli given by the farm will be the in the form of marketing mix. For example, farm might be sending the advertising messaging for the products. The external stimuli refers to the marketing environment, which indirectly to the influences of the customers. It is important to the we differentiate between environment and people. Here, people influence the choice of the people cannot create the decision situations. Second one, bias black box. As I mentioned, buying the decision is made by the person that does not fully understand all the factors influencing her. This refers to the customers interacting between the past experience, belief, the desires and objectives, the making the buying decisions. The bias black box consists of is our personal preferences and attitude towards to the product marketing fit as a well value creation process itself. Buyer's black box, buyer characteristics, buyer's decision process. First one, buyer's characteristics. The buyer's characteristics work closely with the buyer's black box. A buyer's character depends upon many factors such as the information and motivation. It is believed the buying character are relatively stable over time while people can change attitude for their personal preferences during the lifetime for any item which is influenced them clearly. Here the buying the character determined by other people information purchase behavior and branded and buyer decisions process. The buyer decision process is the sequence of steps that buyer will follow when the making a buying decision. It can broken down the evaluation and selections is such evaluation and selections evaluate expenses, calculating purchase motivatives and adaptations to new feelings are this item over time. The mentality need to expectation of the buyers important to take into the account when make the purchase, but hard data may not always show influence on the pricing decisions. Buyers' responses. After the purchase, the product performance can also affect the reaction of the buyers. If any person who agree to upset with experience suffer from the buyer's remorse, she may include the purchase, the revise the farm, event the order of this when the sales of the particular brand decrease rapidly, the implies that customers are dissatisfied with their expenses from this experienced brand, which create insufficient demand for those products as a well decline its value itself when also causes of people to any brand of the customers. Conclusion. The black box models of the consumer behavior is a good way to understand how the consumer decision making process of works well. It is difficult to see exactly why some would make a particular purchase, and it is possible to some patterns that the relevant understanding the buyer thinking when designing the products or services. You can use the knowledge to make sure your product or service meets to needs and the customers and drives their behaviors towards making more the purchases from the black box models also suggested that the consumer will continue the purchase of products They do not need to just because they have been habituated into the doing products do they need the because they have been habituated into doing the previous purchases. Therefore, you should not be surprised your customers continues to buy same products over again. This models does not to take into the account the situation in which is the customer has already made the purchase. Thank you for the giving opportunity.